This week we're starting our study of the human body with a look at the circulatory system, and the main organ of the circulatory system is the heart. Okay, this is our heart. It has 4 chambers. The 2 top chambers. Here is one, that is the right atrium. Here is another one, that is the left atrium. And the 2 bottom chambers are called the ventricles. Right ventricle, left ventricle. And the heart is a very strong muscle. There is also a wall called the septum between the right side of the heart and the left side of the heart. Okay, the right atrium receives what we call blue blood, though it's not really blue, which is blood from the body which doesn't have much oxygen into it. This is then pumped down into the right ventricle, and this blood is sent off up to the lungs to pick up oxygen. Then the blood from the lungs carrying oxygen comes back into the left side of the heart, goes into the left atrium, down to the left ventricle, and then this heads off to the body, all the cells. In the heart we have valves. You see one here, one here, one here, and one here. The valves make sure that the blood is flowing in the right direction. We don't want the blood to be going backwards. Definition of veins. Veins carry blood to the heart from other organs. Arteries carry blood from the heart to other organs. So the arteries go away from the heart, veins go towards the heart, and capillaries connect. Okay, this shows a very simple diagram of the heart and how it relates to the body. So here we have blue blood coming into the right atrium. This is then pumped down to the right ventricle. This blood then gets pumped out into an artery, because arteries lead away from the heart, and it heads off to the lungs, into these very small blood vessels called capillaries. In the lungs, the blue blood picks up oxygen, turns red. This blood then gets taken back to the heart in a vein. Veins carry blood to the heart, and it goes all the way to the left atrium. It's then pumped down to the left ventricle, and then this blood is pumped out into the body. And in the body there are very small blood vessels called capillaries next to your body cell. Here the blood drops off the oxygen, picks up the waste carbon dioxide, and now this blue blood again gets transferred back to the heart to be sent to the lungs to pick up oxygen, back to the heart to be sent to the body to drop off the oxygen. So this cycle goes on and on and on. Okay, this is 1 litre of water. Your heart is a very strong pump. It's a very strong muscle. It will actually pump 2.5 litres of blood around your body every 30 seconds. These are 2 models of the heart, and if we look inside this one model, you'll see the 4 chambers. You'll also see here are the valves. The valves look like this. And then if you look inside this one, the valves are represented as those white sort of stringy things. Again, the valves make sure the blood goes in the right direction. To give you an idea of how strong your heart is, if you give a tennis ball a really good squeeze, that's the force that the heart applies every time it squeezes blood out of it. Very hard. If you try and squeeze like this 60 to 70 times a minute, which is about the same rate as your heart, you'll find your muscles get very, very tired. The heart doesn't get tired because it's made up of a special muscle called the cardiac muscle. And luckily this muscle doesn't get tired, which is why our heart keeps beating 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and hopefully for about 80 to 90 years. This is a stethoscope, is what a doctor uses to listen to your heart. There's 2 sides to the stethoscope, and we actually use this side. It has a hole in it. You need to place this just slightly left of the breastbone to hear your heart rate. If you place 2 fingers on your wrist, you can hear a pulse. The pulse is produced by an artery, and the feeling that you get is every time the blood pumps blood out of the left ventricle, this blood gets rushed through the arteries, and you feel this surge of blood through your artery. So your pulse, there's an artery fairly close to your wrist, and you can feel the blood rushing through.